Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Hello world, I'm David Kimball, and this is the Locker Gnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Your daily dose of geek news, gadget views, and answers that you can use.
Like an answer to the question, does Chris Pirillo ever use a notebook computer while he's in bed? The answer is not usually. I'm either on a smartphone or on a tiny tablet computer. But if I did need to use a laptop or traditional notebook computer while I was laying in bed, I would use this. The laptop laid back. It's a portable table for stress-free computing. And even though I can't read a lick of French, you can see how the laptop laid back works. If you are someone who needs to use their notebook computer while in bed, you may want to use this instead of just setting it on some piece of cloth. That's actually very dangerous. Could start a fire. The laptop laid back, however, is perfectly safe. And it's okay to admit that you use your laptop computer in bed. Or notebook computer. I don't know. Did we switch up those terms at some point and I never caught on? Is it a laptop or a notebook? What do you guys call those things? Hell, I remember when those portable computers were called luggables. They all certainly make handheld computers like these a dream come true. Come on, admit it. Some of you like bringing your tech toys to bed with you. All right. Let me ask this question. What was the first thing you did today when you woke up? Was it brush your teeth, eat something, or use your computer? And if not email, then anything on the internet. I did the same thing today myself, followed shortly thereafter by my first sip of espresso. You know what? Before I continue, let me say that I'm very appreciative that you remember to like and share this video with others, as well as leave a comment, because I just like knowing you're out there. And as long as you continue to do that, I'll continue to do live TLDRs on Fridays. I'm not sure if you heard my notification vibration a few seconds ago, but my brother Adam says hi. Now there's a guy I think could really get into vlogging. It's just that vlogging takes a lot of time to do. And that's exactly why all of us should be grateful for sponsors like Citrix. The Locker Gnome Daily Report is brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces. You can escape the office this summer and stay connected to your team. Use GoToMeeting by Citrix, the powerfully simple way to meet online. Share the same screen to collaborate in real time. Turn on your webcam to see each other in HD video. Launch or join a meeting using your computer, smartphone, or tablet. And I use GoToMeeting when I'm traveling, like my brother apparently is traveling right now, which is cool. I mean, we all need to get out of the office every so often. This is a bad example, but I still use GoToMeeting with regularity. It's just so, convenient. That was kind of an angry face, but I'm not really angry. I'm just really concerned that you guys haven't downloaded your free 30-day trial yet. GoToMeeting.com. Click the try it free button and use the promo code Pirillo. I certainly couldn't do what I do without sponsors, so I appreciate them. Earlier today, I posted something on Facebook wondering if we could try something different. What's a wacky domain name that hasn't been registered yet? And if I was able to register it, what could we do with it together? So think of a crazy or unique domain name and something that we might be able to do with it. And you could leave the comment either here on YouTube, or I would suggest using the Facebook thread at facebook.com/Chris Pirillo just to keep them all wrangled together. I'm trying to involve the community in doing something new and different. I just assume you like interacting with me other than just watching me on whatever screen you're watching me on. Ow. I think I'm going to lose a fingernail. What's that? You were looking for a free guide to explain why you want to use Dropbox, or maybe you know someone who's trying to figure out Dropbox and you wanted to send them a free guide? Okay, we got the link for you. Using the Magic Pocket, a Dropbox guide. It's complimentary, so long as you use the link that we've placed in where? That's right, this video's description. And if you can't see this video's description, you're really missing out. Trust me, there's some good stuff down there. Like a link to where you can download the latest Locker Gnome app available for both iOS and Android. Let's go ahead and see who our top community user is today. Joe DeBeezy. Thanks, Joe. We use mobileroadie.com to make these applications for you. And now that polls are available on both of those platforms, I'm going to start doing daily polls. All you have to do to participate is use the app, and it's free. The last poll I posted was, what was your favorite Star Wars movie? I would have to go with Empire Strikes Back. Submit the response. It's really this simple. And in a few seconds' time, it will tell me that the #1 result was The Empire Strikes Back, according to you. What question could we ask in the poll tomorrow? How about your favorite cloud storage service? You can respond. Use the app. It's been about 7 minutes since I last talked about anything fun, and don't bother rewinding the video because I don't know if we've been doing it for 7 minutes. But if you've ever wanted to create stop motion video on your Mac, we've got a discount for you for iStopMotion. Deals.lockergnome.com has a 50% discount on the software. Or maybe you'd rather continue to use either Vine or Instagram to create stop-motion video. Although that being said, Vine does a slightly better job. I mean slightly, because I still don't like the Vine app. I mean, compared to Instagram. And some people really don't like video on Instagram. And it's no shock, because a lot of people really kind of suck at video. Your first clue that someone wouldn't be that good at video is knowing that most of their photos kind of were not great. Boxed wine out of a plastic cup. Life just doesn't get any better than this. And I don't plan on leaving the house tonight, so I'll be safe. At least keeping myself from the road. I cannot make any promises for what might happen in this video. But if you don't want to take any risks, you might want to buy your own breathalyzer test. And there's a chess game I know I wouldn't mind losing at. I would never suggest that a breathalyzer is a toy, but I would suggest that when you're buzzed, you're just about as good as drunk when you're on the road. So don't do it. In all seriousness, I've lost a few friends due to drunk driving. It wasn't their fault. The drunk driver killed them. Think of technology as something that could save your life, if you remember to use it. Although there are some times you don't want to use technology and that could save your life. For example, when you're texting or paying attention to a small screen while you're driving. Some reports have suggested that being distracted by texting is just about as bad as drunk driving. And if you're going to text or pay attention to your smartphone screen, don't do it while you're doing something else. I got a floater in my cup and I don't want to drink it because I have no idea what it is. It's white and small. Now that I think about it, so am I. Ouya has hit retailers for $100 and has promptly sold out on Amazon. I am wondering how many of you are going with the Ouya. Oh yeah, I still can't say it correctly. Something about, it. Windows 8.1 includes options to shut down from the start button and disable hot corners. I'm going to go on record and predict that it still will not help Windows 8 sales. And by Windows 8, I would mean that anything in the Windows 8.x range, so 8.1, 8.2, 8.0. Although I do believe the re-inclusion of a start button, or something like a start button, is smart, and it may help somewhat. It's just they haven't figured out what's wrong with Windows 8. And trust me, it has nothing to do with the lack of a start button. And it's not like any of us weren't saying it before Windows 8 shipped. Bifurcated UX! Sorry about that. I had something in my partition. Ew. Microsoft is set to launch a web-based version of Xbox Music next week. Once again, I applaud Microsoft's efforts in allowing users to connect with Microsoft services, even if they happen to be using something that isn't controlled completely by Microsoft. So Microsoft doesn't control the web. They put Xbox Music service on the web. People can get to it from pretty much anywhere. And if Microsoft's going to survive, they have to think less about platforms and more about the users. And I don't think any Microsoft fanboy would disagree with me. Except for that guy over there. He's always been weird. Barnes & Noble to stop making Nook tablets. I know many of you probably wouldn't want to admit that you purchased a Nook, even though you likely purchased it based on hardware specifications, because you likely rooted it if you live in my community. I guess, yeah, you could live in this community if you want. Just remember to pay the garbage bill, because it's coming up and you're overdue. In all seriousness, I think it's just a matter of time before the Nook goes bye-bye. So maybe you should get one now. They're about to become antiques. AT&T CEO compares Facebook's HTC First to Apple's failed rocker experiment. Yeah, no. I'm guessing you didn't bother to buy an HTC First, but do you know anybody who did? I promise not to make fun of them. Out loud. Honestly, the average consumer can't help it. They hear about something, and a salesman pitches it, and the next thing you know, someone's purchased an HTC First. And ironically, they may have also been the last. And speaking of, how come no one ever types last as a comment? They always type first, even if they're not. Ooh, let's start a new thing. Let's say middle. But then that would assume that people would come after you and comment last, or hopefully leave a comment that was worth reading. Mozilla launches Firefox 22 with 3D gaming, video calls, and file sharing to court developers. I updated Firefox to 22 today and will continue to not use it over Google Chrome. Yeah, I know I switched to Safari, but then switched back to Google Chrome because it was convenient, and I know, it's just, I can't decide which web browser I want to use. The good news is, there's more than one to use. Our question of the day is brought to you by Audible, and if you want a 30-day trial plus a free audiobook, you just head over to go.tagjag.com/audible. The link is in this video's description, and you can start listening to books. You know, now that I think about it, if I had the ability to listen to books like this when I was a kid, I probably would have been smarter than I am today. Today, I took a huge leap into geekhood and started listening to Fellowship of the Ring. It's a part of the Lord of the Rings series. This is the unabridged version that they have on Audible. I'm not opposed to reading, it's just that, again, I'd rather listen to the book. Who wouldn't? If you have a recommendation for me to find on Audible, please let me know. What should I listen to next? Go.tagjag.com/audible. This question was asked by Swagman7 on LockerGnome.net. Does being a part of a YouTube network make it easier to get review units? My answer, based on my own experiences with YouTube networks, as well as other experiences coming in from other people who I know and trust, is no. Being a part of a YouTube network does not make it easier to get review units. What makes it easier is you doing things. I don't dislike the idea of YouTube networks, but you gotta remember, as a content producer, which many of you might be, they care about you, but only care about you because you bring numbers which help them more than they may be helping you. Remember that the next time you hear someone bragging that they joined a quote-unquote exclusive YouTube network, because it probably wasn't all that exclusive, or they got locked into exclusivity, which again benefits the network more than it benefits the content producer. If you want to get a hold of review units for your channel, well, you have to establish relationships. You have to create content such that the people who have the hardware or software you may want to look at will reach out to you. And if you reach out to them, you have something to show for it. Do you know how much free stuff you have to do or put out there in order to get something in return? Do you know how much quote-unquote free stuff you have to put out there to get something of value in return? A lot. But it's all about relationships. You don't want to get to know someone for where they work. You want to get to know someone. Period. What you also should consider, and I believe I've alluded to this several times over in earlier videos around the same topic, is that this space is kind of flooded. Now that's okay if you've got a personality that people latch onto. And that's the thing. We have plenty of room for more people in this space. But how are you approaching it differently from how everybody else is approaching it? Are you you? Sure, I appreciate looking at audience size, but what I realize is that a lot of people, even if I may not have the biggest subscriber count, listen to my advice. They trust me, and that is everything. As a matter of fact, I got a tweet today saying that someone bought a Nexus 4 thanks to my recommendation, and he loves it. So that tweet might be an example that I would hold on to so that if I was to ask for a review unit, I'd say, hey, look, this guy bought something based on my recommendation. But I don't usually like approaching vendors for review units, if only because sometimes I may not give a good review. I'd rather just show you and have you decide if you like what you see or not. So if you want to score a review unit or two, concentrate more on the depth of connection you have with your community and keep those accolades at hand. You can do it without a network. Or if you do sign with a network, please, for the love of God and all that is holy, don't sign an exclusive. And I'm telling you that based on my own experience. Trust me, exclusives suck. But you definitely don't suck, so long as you remember to like, comment, and share the things that we're doing for you with everybody else. We just appreciate you being you so that we can continue being we. We? That last part was French. We'll see you later.